Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh here with FLOSSTUBE number 118 on don't know what day, end of March, Sunday end of March. Yeah, I have no idea, 20 something of March, 27th maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look up the date beforehand and I've got no idea. I know it's Sunday. And I've just said goodbye to my neighbours who came for a coffee and a hot cross bun, which I burnt the first batch in the oven, so then I had to do some others. So 3 hot cross buns are now in the garbage disposal. Never mind. I went to the fruit and veggie market this morning and got some fruit and veggies, as you do at a fruit and veggie market, so that's pretty exciting. I've got a whole lot of kale and now I need to do something with, so that's very healthy part of me, and now I've got 2 bunches of kale, so I need to maybe get a pot of lentils, something with some kale in the crock pot and make a soup or something. Look at me trying to be healthy, and never mind. I've got a little bit to show you today. And I've got one fly that's flying around and it's driving me absolutely crazy. I don't even know. So I'll show you, I've got some stuff that's come in, some haul or acquisitions, just a little bit, quite a lot really, but it's not a lot, it's a few things. So first up, I will show you my Silks for You monthly kits. And as always, I have forgotten to get a piece of paper to hold these up against. I don't have anything, never mind. Okay, so first up I've got the colours of the month. And I quite like this month's. I mean, I like most months, but I really like these 4 together. So these, you know, are very Leigh colours, these sort of autumny colours here. So those are the 4 15 metre skeins for the Silks colours of the month. So we've got PR 119, and I think I might order a half hank of that. PR 036, which is, it's very nice. PR 185, which is, I like that variegated one, and a nice brown PR 121. So that's the February colour of the month, and I'm very happy with the Silks of the month, which is the 5 10 metre skeins that are numbered 1 through 5 for February. And they are just some lovely greys. So very happy with those. Oh, it's this one fly just driving me nuts. So they came in, which was very exciting. Also in the same parcel from Catherine, because of course Catherine is the intermediary in New Zealand. I get to forward us these Silks for You. So my fat quarter that I ordered this month for my Rainbow Club from Country Stitch is a fat quarter of 40 count merino. So I'll show you that. Oh, just a nice neutral. I used merino for when I stitched, but 36 count, 35 count. When I did one for my friend, it's a plum street with a house. It doesn't narrow it down, does it? I've gone completely blank what it is. Oh, it's a friendship one. I think it's called In Friendship. Might be called In Friendship. But yeah, so that 40 count. So I've ordered that for this chart that I've had for ages that I got off of a D-stash, which is a Permanent of Copenhagen reproduction, I guess. probably a repro. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's a design from the German cross-stitch museum. I don't know. So I just love that. So I got that ages ago, and I'm going to stitch it on, what do you count, with a variation of the called for DMC. I'll probably pull the DMC. There's quite a lot of, it just might just tweak it a little bit just to give it a little bit fresher. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know when I'm starting that, by the way, but given I'm going to use DMC, I probably will, I could call that kitted, but I think I'll pull the DMC before I call that kitted. So that is it for that one. And then I also ordered at the same time, so I just get the fat quarter for my club, but I lately have been getting a fat 8 as well, just to, for some other projects. And I'm gonna give this a go. It's also 40 count, and it's very unlike me, but Apricot Dream. I don't know if you're gonna see that colour. It's very soft apricot. And I think I'm going to stitch this fox and rabbit on that, the Pomegranate Sampler. I just didn't want to do it on white or off or antique white, so I think I'm going to give it that hint of, you know, a pinky colour. But I think I want to get the called for cottage garden threads for that. I shouldn't say the called for, because the called for is 310 and 414, but the model was stitched using cottage garden threads, so I think I want to do this cottage garden threads, which is a variegated black and a variegated grey on this, and I think that will just like warm it up, and yeah, so I need to order those threads. So that's what I think I'm going to use that for. And it will continue, but I won't start that until A, I've got the threads, and B, I've finished the other Pomegranate Sampler. And then I've also been getting some variegated overdyed threads, which I'm going to continue to do over the next few months from Catherine. I've given her a list of 40 overdyes that 40 overdyes. She's going to send me 10 a month. So I'm just going to get a fat quarter a month for the next 4 months, and then 10 overdyes that I need for projects. So I got a few things I got one skein of heirloom gold that I need for one of the designs from the Winds of Autumn book. Thank you again, Sian. Bittersweet September. So I think I have this fully kitted now. I'm going to stitch that on that little piece of 36 count Patriots Brew that Judith, hey Judith, that Judith gave me. So that was a rack, the book was a rack. I decided to kit it up fully with the called for, which I have never done before. So I've got all the threads for that now, and isn't that delicious? I mean, you know, I like the orange and the autumn tones, right? So that's going to look amazing. So I've got that's now kitted up. So that is another one for the box. I think I currently, you know, this 50 at 50 malarkey that I'm doing, I currently have, with this one, 53 kits still in the box, even though I've started 11. So, yeah, I keep kitting things up. So yeah, that is, this will be one that I stitch this year, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's going to be one of my 50 at 50. The other 4 overdyes that I got this month were all for Friends of the Heart, Stone Street, which I think I still have. I still have a couple of, I've got 3 colours still to get, where I need 2 skeins, so I need Onyx, Oscar and Polywog. So, but other than that, I've got all the other colours. So I got in, oh no, I've got 2 Polywogs. I got 2 Polywogs, so call me a liar and paint me blue. And look, I've got, one is a Crescent Colours tag, but the dye lots are pretty good. Like, it looks like Classic Colourworks do a really good job of consistency with their dyes. So I've got 1 Crescent Colours and 1 Classic Colourworks, but they're both very, very similar. So I've got 2 Polywogs, a Ye Old Gold, and Eggshell. So that is getting very close to being kitted up. I think I need 4 more. I think I need 4 more for it. So yeah, I'm kitting this one up with the called for as well. And you can see a theme developing with the colour schemes that I am attracted to. Crazy. So yay. And of course that has pomegranates on it, which we like that, don't we? Because we like pomegranates. That one's going to be stitched on 35 count vintage marble by Zweigart, so that's very close to being kitted up. And then I was inspired by Jodie Allen, who showed on our New Zealand Facebook group her progress to date for her Natasha, I don't know how to say this, Mlodetsky family sampler, which she's shown several times in the past. And I had actually said to her, could I borrow the chart when she's done? And she's like, well, it'll be ages and there's someone before you. Anyway, she reminded me that I really loved it, and I went and found it. So and it just happens that Natasha's a Ukraine-based designer. So in a way, I've supported the Ukraine economy a little bit with my tiny little purchase. So I got the family sampler on Etsy, and I will make some modifications to it to make it a little bit less Christian-y. So I'll take out, like, I'm into angels, I'm just not into crucifixes. So I will probably just not stitch the crosses on the angels, but I'm happy to do angels. And down here, I might just change it to them carrying hearts or something, because it just takes a little edge towards a little bit too Christian for me. But I do think it's lovely. I don't know if I'm going to stitch it on black. I don't know. I really love it, but I don't know. I've got to decide. I've got a couple of other things that I've got in these sort of similar tones, and again they call for black fabric. I'm just not sure I want to stitch on black. I would want to stitch them with a bright colour on a dark background, but I'm just not sure. But I've sit on it for a while. I'm in no hurry. And then while I was on her Etsy site, there's a lot of her designs of that kind of classic Eastern European multi, like, you know, those that Russian or that Eastern European aesthetic with the lots of blends and lots of different back stitching and really cutesy kind of stuff. However, she had this one called Buttons that I grabbed as well because I love it, and it is a way of adding buttons from your stash, and it is called for discontinued DMC. So this one has DMC 7.5, which has been discontinued, but there's another one in that, like, DMC, I can't remember now, 100 and, I think it's like in the 100 range that has similar tones, but I don't know, I'll find something. I might just find a variegated thread. I have pulled some buttons. I did find a small pinkish button that I have 10 of, because it has 10 small buttons, 10 tiny buttons, so 9 across here and 1 up here, and then 5 larger buttons. So, I don't know, but I just love this. So it's called for 14 count cream Ada, and probably with the size of the buttons, you probably wouldn't want to do it too much smaller than that. So I may actually stitch this on cream Ada, which would be like, who are you? But if I'm just doing a variegated thread, like a variegated DMC on 14 count Ada, I don't know, it could be kind of fun just to be a little bit retro really. But I do think it's gorgeous. There's another design with buttons that's called Bouton, which I'm keen to get from Marjorie Massey on her Facebook page. You can like email her and buy her designs in PDF form, and she has one that has buttons. I can imagine like 2 or 3 button based designs all done in variegated reds and stuff. So I don't know, it's quite a lot, eh? So that's 15 minutes of new shit that I bought. But that was quite cool. So look at that, charts, fabric and floss, none of it goes together. Right, I did do some stitching. So you may recall I said last week I was going to have 2 starts this week, one on Monday for the autumn equinox, and one on Saturday for the 2-year anniversary of New Zealand going into lockdown number 1, full country lockdown for the pandemic. So that meant on Sunday I had to find something else to stitch because I wasn't starting anything. So I pulled back out my Mermaid Sampler by Carriage Sampling. So that was start number 9 of 50. Started on my mum's birthday, the 11th of March. That's the design there. So I'm using all the called for DMC on a scrap of 40 count Oyster linen by Christie Stitch, and I decided to do, I think when I showed this last, I said I would continue with all the outlining and then do fill in later. I lied. Only having just looked at this now do I realise this is a little crab. So I stitched the little crab and the bird, and then I did all the fill in because that was all just outlined previously. And then I started on the outline of here. So I started on the ship, the 2 little fish, and I have a very strange looking outline of a mermaid. That's where I stopped. That was sort of Sunday evening I did all that. So this is all completed apart from the rest of the outline. I'm cheating and stitching everything else so I don't have to count the outline. So yeah, probably a good half done now. And that was Sunday, so I'm really happy with it. It's so cute. It's so cute and sweet. And I just, and up here will be my mum's name and her year of birth rather than the called for, which is Margaret Malley. So that was project number 1 for the week. Then I had, and I'll just show you my bags. I'm storing that in a bag I made, which is just this. Just a vinyl fronted bag with a kind of a oceany mappy thing. So that is that one in my mermaid bag. Then my start on Monday was start 10 of 50, and I started Scottish Garden by Stone Street Stitchworks. And this is on 36 count Tussock from Country Stitch, and a partial conversion as suggested in the design. It sort of said just knock your socks off with the flowers, and because I didn't follow the chart that carefully, I have quite a lot of variation, it turns out. But yeah, that was in sort of, I started on the 21st, since that was the autumn equinox, the astrological first day of autumn. And as you'll see on my little card, I actually finished it. So I had a start and a finish. I finished it on the 24th. Again, working from home, staying away from people, you get a lot done. So I can't pass this chart on because it was just a PDF. It is available on their Etsy store. So I then trimmed my bit of fabric because it was too wide. I didn't really give myself much margin. I got a bit excited with the scissors, but it's still plenty to frame. I'm so happy with it. Okay, so the border's quite different. Anyway, there's just tiny little changes. The flowers are all a little bit different. Then what's charted, I changed the colour of the white ones, and I added an extra layer of colour in these little centres, these little bits where there was only sort of 2 layers of colour, and I added a third. It's more visible in person, but there are some really neutrals in there. And I changed the initials to mine, and then I added the 2022. So they're all in 4-sided stitch. So that is called for, but on the chart it only has the initials, and I just squeezed in 2022 and 4-sided stitch down there, and that kind of classic red and green that you see a lot in Scottish samplers. So I alternated it called for red and green, and then I just alternated green and red, and I just think it's so sweet and charming and such a quick little stitch, and I really, really am happy with it. So just a reminder what it looks like on the design. So yeah, that was the start and finish. So yay, start 10 was also a finish. Then, so I needed to pick up something on Friday. So Friday evening, after work, I pulled out my Pomegranate Sampler by Cliffside Stitches, and you'll recall I had been waiting I'd stitched up to here in the border, but I had been waiting for some floss to come in from France, so because I needed to get another skein of the green fougere from Tommy. I'm stitching this on 36 count Aspen by Weeks Dye Works, and this was start 2 of 50. So on Friday I picked it up and I adjusted the centre pomegranate band. So that is I used all of the green as a new skein of fougere. Then when the borders now repeat in the reverse of what they are. So the next one is that scrolly red border, then that pomegranate second border down here, I will use the old skein of green, then the new skein of green. It's just I want to use up all of the old skein, but there's not that much left, but I'm very happy with it. So that is quite a lot of progress, and of course I'm keeping my pomegranate project in my beautiful pomegranate bag that the lovely Judith made for me as a kind gift, just like a sexy red inside, and it's my special gold. It's my only one with gold hardware, but it's gold in this lovely fabric, so I love this so much. So the challenge is always going to be to keep a pomegranate project in there. So of course I've got the other pomegranate sampler, so that's Pomegranate Sampler by Cliffside Stitches, then I've got the Pomegranate Sampler by Fox and Rabbit, and then that Plum Street Friends of the Heart with pomegranate. So one pomegranate at a time, but it means my pomegranate bag will always have a pomegranate project in it. Man, talk about challenging the old linguistic ability. Okay, and my last project for the week, my second start of the week, start 11 in my 50 at 50, which I didn't even write down. It's the 26th, I started it, of March, is the 2020 Pandemic Sampler by SarcyGurl, or Christie Steffensen, SarcyGurl, which I am stitching on 40 count Prehistoric from Fox and Rabbit using my own partial conversion. So it's that one, that's what it looks like if you don't know. And I don't have a very exciting bag, this one was empty, so it's just one of my own bags. Cherry little sunflower bag that I made, and I got a little start on this yesterday. I'm so happy with the fabric, so I'm kind of glad I changed the fabric out because I just love it. Because I had originally going to stitch this on a dark green, but that's where I got to. So the colours, the red and the orange and the border are not called for. They are my own substitutions from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop, but everything else is called for, although the back stitching, there's a little bit of back stitching on top of the peacock and just in the corner here. The chart, as far as I can see, doesn't tell you what to backstitch. The colour key does sort of indicate what it might be, but there's several colours that are kind of similar, so I'm just using whatever I think makes sense. But yeah, it's more visible, the backstitching in person, but there's a bit of backstitching on that corner motif and yeah, the top of the peacock crown. The colours are just, I don't know, it doesn't look that good on my camera, but in person, and I must say, Sue down in Stitch Witches, you're a bit crooked with the cutting. It's wonky. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. So, yay. A good little start. So that was, 11 of 50. So, we're over 20% done with this 50 at 50. I don't know what I'm going to start next. So we do have daylight saving. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go and grab 2 projects, and I'm going to get you to choose which one I'll start for daylight saving ending next weekend. I will start it after the video, so basically I'll know by whatever your votes are by next week. One of them will be a daylight saving ending, and the other one I'll save for daylight saving starting again, in September at the end of the year. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've picked 2 projects that kind of to do with light, and I guess daylight saving is all about maximising the light that we have available at the end of the day, I guess. So both of these probably are more suited, I don't even know. They're both to do with the light. So one of these I will start next Sunday as start number 12, which will be to do with just, because it's the end of daylight saving here in New Zealand. And the other one I will then put in the book to be stitched in September. I think it's September when daylight saving starts again. So choice, one, you're going to use the keyword lighthouse if you want me to stitch this for daylight saving ending, and it's the Lighting the Way by Silver Creek Samplers, which I've had kitted up for a while. So I've got 36 count, a custom dye of Halloween Smoke. It's slightly darker than normal from Country Stitch. 36 count using called for DMC. So yeah, use the word lighthouse, or one word, if you want me to stitch that. And the alternative is lamppost. Again, all one word, lamppost, LAMPOST. So this is, again, I must look up who the designer is on Etsy, because I don't have it on this. It's possibly I don't know if it's a Russian designer. It's okay. They didn't know that Potion was going to be a dick. And I'm going to stitch this on 35 count Lilac Grove. So both kind of greys, using DMC, not a slight variation on the called for. So yeah, lamppost if you want me to stitch that one. Start that one. So yeah, those are your choices for next week, and that will be my start. And apologies if during the video you've heard weed whacking, lawn mowing. I mean, I live in the suburbs, and it's a sunny day in the midst of lots of days of rain, so of course people are out doing their weekend chores. Thanks for coming along and watching my YouTube video, my FLOSSTUBE. I appreciate every one of you. And I'm going to go put all the stuff away, and it's now 12:30. I just had a hot cross bun though, so I probably won't have lunch. I'll drink my water, and I might do a little bit of stitching while I watch, I don't know, some YouTube on the TV. Take care, be safe, find joy in your stitching, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.